Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m.
A lot of energy is used at that time of night, cooking, dishwashers, stoves.
Xcel changes how it charges customers, and it's leaving some confused.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. We're walking you through that new time of use price hike and whether opting out is the best decision for your family.
Marshall fire victims can finally move forward on their path to rebuilding. Boulder County gets the green light to start its debris removal program.
And helping Ukrainians escape the war along with their four-legged family members.
They really are worried about their pets because for some of them they just would feel lost without them.
The Colorado veterinarian working to get pets to safety. We felt so bad for all the people who've had to leave their pets behind. So great to see some staying together.
Right, carrying everything they can. Yeah, it's nice to see pets getting some help.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Nicole Brady.
I'm Brian Sanders. The rain has tapered off from overnight, but you might see some slick roads on your drive to work this morning. It's also really cold out there, Lisa.
A lot colder than the same time yesterday. You're right. Here's a live look, though, from Vail Village. And yesterday at this point, it was pretty dry, and then we saw a little bit of snow. And now you're going to still find a little bit of snow over some of the high mountain passes. But here in town, things drying out, definitely cooling off, though. We're looking at temps anywhere from 20 to about 25 degrees colder than the same time yesterday. So a pretty big change from the 40s and even 50s that we saw early yesterday. Skies are going to clear out here. We'll see a little mix of sun and clouds in town, and then another 1 to about 3 inches of snow today in through the central and southern mountains. And even down and through the Sangre de Cristos, we'll pick up a few more inches of snow. Here in town, though, we're expecting the winds to kick up and temperatures to climb to right around 48 degrees. So we're going to be in the upper 40s, close to 50 this afternoon with some pretty gusty conditions. We'll talk more about those winds coming up here, Jason, in just a few minutes.
And we do have some slick conditions in some pockets around town. I saw a little bit of ice on a bridge here early this morning, but right now the roads are continuing to dry out pretty nicely. This is I-25 at Arapahoe Road, and you can see some lanes are still a little bit more wet than others, but it's not going to slow you down by any means. Look up at the drive on I-70 up the foothills, getting wet and some foggy conditions, but it could be freezing. It looks like it's a little bit freezing on the pole here as well as the bridge, so it could be a little bit icier here to the west where it's a little bit cooler and you see some of that freezing fog. Take a look at the map. We're up in the high country. We have two issues where we have two rock slides, one right outside of Steamboat Springs along Highway 40 that has some restrictions there. This is the snowy conditions on Highway 40 over Rabbit Ears Pass, and then Highway 133, so this would be 82 coming down through Carbondale, and then 133 a little bit south of there. We have another pretty big rock slide, unfortunately, that has that roadway closed down. It's the time of year we could see that. The rest of the drive actually looks okay for us here around town. Not seeing any other big issues.
Well, we are following some breaking news this morning out of Aurora. Police are investigating a deadly shooting. They say a woman was killed near Mexico Avenue and South Dayton Street. Officials are still looking for the suspect. And it's the second deadly shooting in Aurora over the past 24 hours. Just yesterday, a woman was killed and another injured in a shooting at an apartment complex near the Aurora Hills Golf Course. Police have not made an arrest yet.
Well, from groceries to gas to rent, we are paying more for everything. And now many people across the metro are paying more for electricity as well. Xcel Energy is changing the way it charges customers.
Yeah, people will be charged higher rates now depending on the time of day you use electricity. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us this morning because, Veronica, we knew the change was coming, but some people are confused about how this is going to work.
So Xcel customers, they will be shelling out nearly 3 times as much as they were paying during these peak hours. So peak hours between 3 in the afternoon and 7 in the evening. In that window of time, that's when a lot of students get home from school, parents getting home from work, starting on dinner, watching TV, those kind of things. Xcel calling this their time of use program. So it's a program you can opt out of. We reached out to Xcel and asked what rates are if you do go ahead and choose to opt out of the program. Officials said you pay 12 cents per kilowatt hour in the winter and then 14 cents in the summer. So that's if you choose to opt out. If you opt in, then you pay 10 cents per kilowatt during those off-peak hours in the summer, 28 cents during peak hours in the summer. And as you can imagine, it's a little bit less during the winter. We spoke with one grandmother who says she's confused and worried about that price hike.
Because that's when we're home watching TV. The kids are on, the laptops or computers doing their homeworks, and a lot of energy is used at that time of night, cooking, dishwashers, stoves. With inflation and everything that's going on in the world, that things are going to go up a little, and things are going to get a little harder and rougher for everybody.
And just so you know, this price hike only applies to residential customers, not commercial. Excel says, as I mentioned, there is a way to opt out. You can go ahead and go to our website, thedenverchannel.com, and we have a link for you on how to get more information to do that. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. There are ways you can actually save money with the new time of use pricing. Excel says the key is staying flexible. Try to avoid the big energy users during peak times. So that would be things like your dishwasher, washing machine and dryer, and the AC. One way you can save some money is do those chores, do the wash or the dishwasher overnight or on the weekends. Avoiding using your TV or computer during the peak hours won't actually save you that much money.
After in-person talks between Russia and Ukraine, Russia says it will drastically reduce combat operations around the cities of Kyiv and Chernihiv. However, overnight there were more explosions in the suburbs around the capital city. The Pentagon confirmed some Russian troops were pulling away from Kyiv, but officials suspect the troops are just repositioning somewhere else. New images out of Mariupol show the devastating aftermath of Russia's missile attacks there. Residential areas have been destroyed and about 100,000 civilians are still trapped. Images show long lines forming outside of grocery stores, too, as people are desperate for food and other supplies. Overnight, the UN says more than 4 million refugees have now fled Ukraine since the invasion. Aluminum can giant Ball Corporation says it is pulling operations out of Russia now. The Westminster-based company plans to sell its growing manufacturing business there because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Denver Business Journal reports the company's Russian division generated 4% of its nearly $14 billion revenue last year. A Colorado veterinarian traveled all the way to the Ukrainian border to provide free services to families fleeing with their pets.
And Denver 7's Christian Lopez talked to him, and Christian, he's helping people and working with people from all over the world to help those people and their pets.
He is, and like everyone else, he wanted to do something to help, and he told me that it ended up being an experience that he'll never forget.
Here's our area where we have a treatment table and our little waiting area.
John Geller is a veterinarian from Fort Collins. His passion for helping animals brought him here to the Ukraine-Romania border.
It was like everybody else just really wanted to help, and I knew it would take a little bit of a leap out of my comfort zone to do it, since I didn't know what I was getting into.
His nonprofit Street Dog Coalition set up this pop-up vet tent in an area that sees hundreds of families passing through every day.
And they want to leave, they want to bring their pets, but there's a lot of requirements for them to travel through Europe, through Eastern Europe, with pets.
He's helping them with that, offering pet vaccines, pet passports, and whatever else families need to make sure their furry companions can travel with them safely.
They really are worried about their pets because for some of them, they just would feel lost without them. And so it's really important for them to know their pets are going to be able to travel and are healthy to do so.
Well, especially because pets bring us so much comfort.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, we definitely saw some families today with young kids, and the whole family is so bonded to their pets.
He showed us around the Asacha border crossing station where he's set up.
You can see their pots. What's for dinner tonight?
Well, we have chicken soup.
Okay.
Lentil soup, as usual.
I love lentil soup.
It has expanded into a safe space where volunteers from all over the world are coming together to help, offering families a hot meal and a place to rest.
They get their paperwork done. They get warmed up. They eat some food. They get on a bus that is taking them mostly to Bucharest, but maybe other places too.
An experience John says has been life-changing. It's
amazing to see how unifying, even though it's a horrible event, how unifying this war has been. And it makes you appreciate just, I guess, a more international perspective.
It was such a pleasure to talk to him and see everything that they had set up. And this is people from all over the world coming together to this specific area.
You can see that from the languages printed in different languages. Yeah,
it's nice. I mean, these families have packed up everything they own. They've got their kids with them, and now it's nice to know someone's looking after their pets.
Definitely.
And he has a nonprofit here locally,
He does. It's called Street Dog Coalition. So he helps pets of people who are experiencing homelessness. So the generosity doesn't stop there.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Thank you, Christian. The generosity continues here with seniors in Colorado who have found a way to support Ukraine. The residents of River Point Senior Living in Littleton are sewing what used to be blue and yellow scraps of fabric into quilts. Many of the residents were alive during World War II and they remember the humanitarian crisis it created, so they want to do what they can to help now as well.
I knew what a dictator could do.
They're all, yes, I want to do something for Ukraine. I want to do something for Ukraine. This is a dream come true. This is the quilter's dream.
And they are dedicated. It will take 2 more months to complete 4 quilts. They will then be auctioned off, and the group is still looking for a good nonprofit to donate the proceeds to help Ukrainians. If you have an idea for them, you can contact them with the information we've posted over on the denverchannel.com. Lisa.
We are right now looking at, well, at this point, fairly calm conditions in Denver. Wind speeds have been at around 10 to near 15 miles per hour. The winds are going to kick up more, though, here in town. You can see just how gusty it is out east. Speeds at around 30 to near 50 miles per hour. So it will be breezier here in town this afternoon. Chilly, and we're looking at highs in the upper 40s. So much warmer tomorrow. We've got a beautiful Thursday in store, and I'll show you that here on the Super 7 Day coming up.
A friend of mine over the Operations Center in Golden says it's snowing over there pretty lightly.
Ooh.
But it is snowing, and I-70 not too far from there here, right around Highway 6th Avenue. It looks okay. It looks mostly wet for us, but don't be surprised if you see these roads continuing to stay wet because of some of the light snow showers that continue out to the west.
Well, prepare to pay more for food. New predictions show how high grocery prices and restaurant prices are expected to go up.
Plus, it's the Australian outback right here in Colorado. The new exhibit opening at the Denver Zoo.